it's a nasty game. We need some nasty guys.
The image does mean a whole lot, and if you introduce players like that, you're probably down the line gonna have a wildly different image, and I doubt that the Maras are really interested in that kind of a thing. As far as the Giants are concerned, clearly the Jets don't really care because Rex Ryan.
Well, okay, yeah, that's fair.
And the kind of attention that they bring. But in any case, if you don't mind, I mean, my three wishes are pretty simple and
Give
vague.
them to me.
I mean, kind of like the 100. I wish for $1 million, and then all of the deer show up, kind of deal. The Yankees need a bat. I don't know where it's going to come from. It's probably already on their roster. Somebody who hasn't had a bat in their hands for a couple of years because of injury, but just something. Fix the pitching, sure, but that wasn't their issue down the stretch. It was not scoring. The Knicks need. I think a center would be huge. I think a real non-Samuel Dallenberg type center. I mean, obviously Marc Gasol, pipe dream, but down the line, just a really reliable guy for the sake of the triangle. And the Giants, wish them health. Just health. That same lineup would do a whole lot.
Agreed.
Would they not have done a whole lot more had they not had a record-setting amount of guys on the IR?
I think they potentially could have.
I mean, between special teams, but especially the offensive line. I mean, that there's just no questioning that I mean, it corresponds. It directly corresponds. I don't know.
I think that's a fair criticism. A fair comment in terms of folks getting injured. I still think for the Giants that it's going to come down to we also need some leadership at the quarterback position from Eli. I get the whole 6'5", 6'6" thing. I get he's got a gun. I get he's got 2 Super Bowls. But the whole all-shucks routine.
These last 4 weeks, the kind of numbers that he's putting up. It's his first year with a totally new offensive scheme, a lot of new guys. I mean, his main target, Victor Cruz, went out in the middle of the season.
Yeah, no, listen, I get it, and Kyle, I do thank you for calling. I think you made some excellent points, and I think that I think down the road that Eli will hopefully come around, and I think he did some better things, but I still want more. I want more vocal leadership. I want more presence, and he's got the blessing of having an older brother who gets it pretty right 99.9% of the time. He needs to go to Manning camp. Eli needs to actually go and attend Manning camp and spend some time with his brother because his brother gets it pretty right. Let me take another call here. I've got somebody who wants to talk about New York. I got a Rebecca for a little diversity. Miss Rebecca, happy holidays. Thank you for calling.
Well, happy holidays to you. I am a very, very big very big Jet, and Met fan. And I have to tell you, I'll just say this once, and then we'll go on to my other point about my 3 wishes for the Jets. One is that you cannot permit a bully on your team because what he destroys is the other men around him. And I have to tell you, I would not want Richie Incognito on my team. Do I like players who are mighty and really, really good like J.J. Watts? Sure. I like players who bust through the line and tackle the runner. I mean, I truly enjoy that. But I don't want a man who destroys the teamwork, because there are 11 men on the field. And Richie Incognito or anyone like him, I don't want. So.
Okay. Now, let me just say this, Ms. Rebecca, before you get to your 3 wishes. We're going to have to agree to disagree about that, only because, I'm not here to defend all of Mr. Incognito's actions and whatever he did, and Richie said this, Richie said that. I got it. He's not the first person to say, he's not the last person to say it doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. I mean, it does not make it right. It's clearly wrong. But at the end of the day, I struggle with us hanging the moniker on Richie Incognito as a bully in a league full of bullies. They're all big men. They're all aggressive men. They didn't get to the NFL by not being fairly big and fairly aggressive. And the guy who primarily said that he was a bully was a pretty big man. And so I think that the bullying thing is a little bit tough when you get to the NFL. But that being said, tell me about your 3 wishes, please.
1, the Jets not get Jameis Winston. I do not want him on my team. 2, I want the Jets to get a decent personnel man as general manager, and I want a good coach brought in, not an egomaniac like Harbaugh, because, frankly, he wears out his welcome in every place he goes to. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Now, I tell you what, my question for Miss Rebecca, if I was going to challenge her, she jumped out pretty quickly, but my question for Miss Rebecca would be, if we don't want Jameis Winston, why? 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 What's different? By my records here, let me just see if I've taken a look here. From something that just came out a couple of hours ago, chosen once again for the NFL's Pro Bowl is none other than Pittsburgh Steelers, Mr. Ben Roethlisberger. Mr. Ben Roethlisberger. Now, my question is, what is it in whatever allegations or whatever was done, what is it about Mr. Jameis Winston that makes him uniquely different than the celebrated $100 million making Ben Roethlisberger, who repeatedly has had some of the same issues come up to a greater degree in a context with more witnesses, and without getting into all the particulars, I just think, again, that's a little bit of a slippery slope. If they're both wrong, if Jameis is wrong, then Ben's got to be wrong. If Ben is right, then we got to let Jameis come out and play, folks. You know what I mean? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. But we can't sit here and point the finger at Jameis and say we don't like what he does because of this character issue and some allegations or whatever it may be, and then celebrate Ben Roethlisberger as we do as a perennial All-Pro and eventual likely Hall of Famer. I really, really, really struggle with that. The other point about the GM and the coach, that's somewhat of a given in terms of where the Jets need to go, and finding some new solutions. And it may be, I've heard a rumor now with Casterly that he's going to be possibly coming in to help coach the Jets. We're going to head to a break. I'm going to ask folks to continue to call in. This is Michael Graves on the Fan at 877. Please call in at 877-337-6666. We'll be right back. WFAN. Good morning. This is Michael Graves on WFAN The Fan. Please call us on our toll-free hotline at 877-337-6666. Brought to you by Mohegan Sun, Connecticut. Mohegan Sun and the Pocono Downs and resorts at Atlantic City. We're going to take a couple calls in a few minutes. I see that the switchboards are lighting up, which is a beautiful thing. I like folks calling in, want to hear what you have to say. I do want to at least get to my 3 wishes for the couple of teams. I'm going to hit them real quick because I do want to get to some more calls. For the Giants, I want Eli Manning to go to leadership school. That's where I want him to go. I want him to spend some real time there. Lead some people somewhere. Eli, please, lead us somewhere. I'm not saying you haven't won. I understand you've won. But I'm just saying that if a guy can't lead his team like to the buffet line, you know what I mean? Lead your offensive lineman to the buffet line. If they were more single guys, and I know he's married, but if they were going out to meet girls, he'd be, leading guys. Hey, look, let's go over and meet some girls. Let's go dancing. Let's lead some people somewhere. Show me some passion. Like I said, I get the whole tall. I'm tall. I got a gun. I'm speaking in full sentences. I present very well. I do the whole aw shucks thing. I'm not interested in aw shucks anymore. And it was one thing when you were younger. Now you've been in the league, whatever, 8, 9, 10 years, whatever it is. Eli, please, bruh, show me something else. Show me some passion. Show me something that's going to make and inspire people to follow you in a grown man's game. That's what we need. Now we got young guys coming in. This kid that everybody, O.D. Beck, who everybody's excited about, league-wide, who apparently went to the same school as Eli and looked up to him all of his life. When he went to, I believe they went to the same high school, maybe he grew up in the same town or something. I mean, this is a guy who's looking up to him as a guy who's the veteran in the league at this point. I'm just saying, give him some inspiration. That kid, let me say this. If Eli played with the passion that O.D. Beck played with, we'd be talking about a totally different ball game, folks. That's what I need from Eli. I need that guy to be on fire a little bit. Not out of control, but I need him to have some fire. And there's just no fire. JPP, my second wish is for the Giants. JPP, I want you to get off your blocks. I want you to get off your blocks, okay? I heard you were a good player. I understand you're a good player. I saw you were a good player when there are other people holding down the other end. Now, when there's no one else there, JPP, you still got a job to do, okay? Because now Michael Strahan's not running through the door anymore. My man got traded out to Oakland. He's with the Raiders now. We lost the other guy to the Falcons. I really don't even want to hear it. I'm not particularly concerned about who left at this point. JPP, you had a reputation of getting the job done. I think deservedly so. But I think you got exposed a little bit when you started getting double teams. Now, I'm not necessarily, perhaps it's not fair to compare you to J.J. Watt, but guess what? J.J. Watt's getting double and triple teamed every single week. Every single week. JPP, get off your blocks. Get off your blocks and get to the quarterback. I don't want to hear any more other than that, really. Okay? If you need to put some weight on, and that's going to slow you down a little bit, put a couple of pounds on, eat a couple of donuts, have a couple of burgers, put some more weight on. Maybe you're undersized. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know what it is, but handle your business, son. Handle your business on your side of the field and be responsible for that. Number 3 thing for the Giants, obviously I hope Cruz comes back. And O.D. Beck, I just want you to turn the volume down a little bit. As much as I want Eli to turn the volume up, O.D. Beck, I want you to turn it down a little bit, bro. Just turn it down a little bit. When I see you excited after scoring and stuff, I'm with you. But by the time we start to celebrate and we're climbing on chairs and cheering the crowd on and all the above, if we need that at a critical time, I can see it in isolated circumstances. But sometimes it starts to look a little bit like too much like we're celebrating oneself versus celebrating the team. And that's what my concern is with O.D. Beck. I don't think we need in this league another wide receiver with an out-of-control personality that we can't harness and bring back to the center of the room. Nice balance. I'd like to see O.D. Beck. He could have maybe a little bit more fire than Cruz, but Cruz is in cruise control. He's beautiful. He does his salsa thing afterwards. He's celebrating a little bit. He's fun. He's entertaining. Bada bing, bada boom. Everybody goes home happy. You know what I mean? Do the Cruz thing, bro. Get a dance. But you don't have to be like, it doesn't have to be completely off the hook with haircuts, tats. I don't think we have to go all the way there. So I'd like it turned down a little bit. Those are my 3 wishes for the Giants. I'm going to take a call. I see I got a few folks calling in here. Let's go with, I got 3 gifts with Mike. Mike, you got a good sturdy name. You're calling from Mount Vernon? I see Vernon.
No, Vernon, New Jersey.
Vernon, New Jersey. Okay. Mike from Vernon, New Jersey. 3 gifts. Tell me about it. Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing well, sir.
I agree with everything that you say so far. Everything that you said, you either finished my sentence or I finished your sentence, and then you said it. And I agree 100% of what you say with the football, the locker room, everything. I agree 100% of what you're saying. Football's a man's sport. Forget about all this bully stuff. Once it hits the media, it's blown out of proportion anyway. So if you could play the sport, you could be on my team anytime. So whatever.
That's
but anyway,
that's a beautiful thing, Mike. I'm glad that the mics are thinking alike. That's a beautiful thing.
Real quick, not to get off topic, but I just want to say my hearts and prayers go out to the 2 cops that got shot this week. I just want my thoughts and prayers go out to their family. It's a very terrible thing. My brother's a police officer in the city, and I just want to say it's very hard to go to sleep at night knowing that can happen to my brother at any time. But that's another topic for another day.
I would echo those sentiments relative to the officers as well as anybody in the circumstance, and I hope that we as a society can come back together behind the tragedy of the officers, as well as Gardner and Brown. Regardless of what you think about the circumstances, it's still we're still talking about lives lost, and it's a terrible thing across the board.
Nobody deserves to lose their life over stupid stuff. It could be resolved a whole nother way.
Absolutely. Agreed.
But my 3 wishes.
Yes, sir.
My 3 wishes. All right. I'm not a Jet or Giant fan, so I'm sorry. I'll stick with a New York team. The Yankees, I feel they need to stay healthy and have a healthy rotation. As long as Tanaka, Sabathia stay healthy, I think the Yankees will be all right. I'm not saying they're not going to win the World Series, but I just feel a healthy rotation would definitely help the Yanks. So that's my first wish. My second wish is I wish they would go back to beefing up the farm system a little bit. Like back in the day, we had the Pettits of the world. I know these are once-in-a-lifetime players, but at least they were homegrown. And I like cheering for our players, not somebody else that we signed, even though it's a different world now. But I just wish that the Yankees would beef up their farm system a little bit and start getting some young guys in there and somebody to get in there like Jeet, somebody that's clear-minded and does the right thing.
Agreed.
So that's my second wish. And my third wish is the last caller brought up Harbaugh, which was funny because I was going to bring up Harbaugh, not where he's going, but as a Niner fan, I know it's not Jets and Giants, so I apologize, but as a Niner fan, I don't care where Harbaugh is going. I just don't understand if it's not broke, why fix it? And he's had so much success, I don't understand why they can't get along. And not only that, if he's not going to coach the team, if he's not going to be the coach anymore, who are the Niners going to get to coach this team? That's why I don't understand. Who's out there that the Niners are going to get to coach this team? That's where I'm so confused about. Like, who's going to be better than Jim Harbaugh? I know he lost the locker room this year, but, 3 NFC championship games, I mean, come on. Like, why? I don't understand. I'm so flustered and frustrated as a Niner fan that the GM and the coach can't get together. I just don't understand. Who's going to coach this team?
I hear you. I don't know that I have the answer for who's going to coach him, but I do understand the sentiments of the previous caller, the gal who called in, because I think I don't personally know Harbaugh, but it does appear that there's something about his personality that unequivocally grates on people's nerves. And just wears them down to the bone. So I think he comes out of the box, and at first he's an agent of change, which can be a fantastic thing, particularly in an organization that lacks discipline. If he can bring discipline to the table, that's fantastic, and then it's kind of an agent of organizational change. But then after a while, if you're just beating people up day in and day out, I think that's when he's starting to lose people. I'm not positive, but it sounds like that's the complaint and that's the knock on him.
Okay.
And it may have a window, but listen, Mike, I do appreciate you calling in, and I'm gonna hop to a couple other calls. But
that's okay. Before you hang up, I just want to wish you and your family, a safe holiday. And it was very nice talking to you tonight. So have a happy Christmas and a happy New Year, and I hope everything's well, and good luck with the overnight.
You as well, and best to you and your family, okay? And we'll pray to your brother, I believe, brother or uncle, stay safe, okay?
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
All right.
Go Yanks, baby.
You got it.
Just the best baseball player.
All right. He's excited. He was trying to get it all in. That's a beautiful thing. He's got an open mic. And he's got a rookie on this side. So, I'm working the switchboard. Not the switchboard. I'm working whatever they give me. I got a couple things in my fingertips. that I was a little bit slow in the draw. He was trying to get a couple of things in, but that's good. That's good. Enthusiasm is our friend. And look, I feel his passion behind the Yankees rotation and the farm team. I mean, the good old days, we used to think that the Yankees, they were just kind of, like it was like talking about, Alabama in college football. They would open up a new can of running backs. I'm looking at the switchboard to see if I can get one more call in before we go to break. I don't know if we should take one or not. I'm looking for Okay. Well, if someone's got three, wishes, I'm going to go to Richie. Richie, if you got 3 wishes, you got to hit it quick because we don't have much time, brother. Richie, you on?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, we got to hit. We're about to go to break in a minute, but if you got 3 wishes, give them to me real quick. We're going to try and hit them right before break.
Well, yeah, I'll give you 3 wishes. I was hoping to have a little more time, but if not, that's okay. Just tuned in a little while ago, and some of the stuff I'm hearing is crazy tonight. First of all, regarding the Giants, Eli Manning, many, many different NFL quarterbacks have different ways of going about things. Some guys get in your face and yell and encourage you and sometimes correct you when you run the wrong route, guys like Phillip Rivers, Terry Bradshaw. Eli may seem like he's laid back. It may come across like he doesn't care, but he has 2 more rings than Tony Romo has, and all Romo has done thus far is
I'm with you.
All Romo does is compile stats, and this is the first year that he didn't choke in the month of December. And if any of you really believe that he's going to go into CenturyLink Field against a Seattle team that will have the home field throughout, please, Tony Romo's an accident waiting to happen.
Okay, I'm with you. Rich, hit me with your 3 real quick, please.
Okay. My other 2 wishes are related. One, I want some of the young listeners of WFAN, if they're under 25 or 30 years old, watch some of the ESPN documentaries on my childhood idols, Hershel Walker and Marcus Dupree, who, as far as I'm concerned, are the 2 greatest college running backs I've ever seen. And number 3, the media needs to stop putting Johnny Manziel up on a pedestal. It's very simple. His college teammates at College Station said this. If he's your teammate, you love him. Otherwise, he's a jerk. And I can't stand the guy. He goes on social media and throws everything in the face of the working man like me with all the places he goes to and celebrities he hangs out with. He's a jerk, and I'm rooting for him to fail.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, Rich, listen, happy holidays to you. I appreciate you calling in, and I agree with some of what you said, and we will, we're going to move on to a break, but I do appreciate you calling in, okay?
All right, just everyone, please remember.
Listen, we had to cut that one a little bit short, but hopefully Rich did get a chance to say his thing. We are going to head to break right now. When we come back, we are going to talk about Manziel and some other stuff right here on The Fan, WFAN, with Michael Graves. Thank you.